Hi all, welcome to my new little vlog. Right before us, I'm making a waistcoat up for the first fitting without any pockets. So this is the finished left side, as you can see. I put a wool canvas in and I've tacked it down. So remember all these tram line basting stitches are in. So I'm just going to show you how I do that. So here's my other side of the waistcoat here. Remember, put my princess seam in, and now remember all my tailor tacks are in, my thread marks are in. People call them tailor tacks, thread marks they're called technically, really. Anyway, same thing. Here's my canvas, my wool canvas, and because I've put a princess seam in the waistcoat, that's got to reflect on the canvas itself because it's got a shape exactly, so you can see my princess seam is in the canvas. As I said, we all use canvas. Well, in the bespoke, real bespoke tailors all use canvas, and some will use fusibles, but not many. The real bespoke tailors will use canvas. So I'm using canvas, and you can sometimes we'll use linen for inside their waistcoats as well. So I'm going to give you little glimpses how I make this waistcoat up anyway. So what we'll do, we'll put that there. Now we'll place that on top of the waistcoat. Now I don't exactly place my seam on seam because I believe it can create a little bit of bulk. So I fractionally offset it. It's only fractionally offset, only a little bit. So it will still retain that shape, but some tailors won't. But I do. I've done it at fraction. You can see. Now we're going to tack this down here. So I'm going to show you my way. If I can find my needle. There we go. There's my needle there. So now we've got to retain the shape of this princess seam here. Basically, this princess seam is two darts, a waist dart, and it's a bust dart. And I've transferred it into this armhole, and basically they're enclosed in this one continuous seam all the way down. So we need to retain that because that is your bust. That's got to go over your bust cup, and you don't want that flat because naturally you can see naturally here where the bust cup's going to be. There's some fullness there, and we've got to retain that. I don't want that flat. Here, up there, I do not want that flat. So what I do is I'll elevate it with a little ruler. So you can use a thicker ruler if you want to. So I'm going to elevate that here. And whilst I'm working on each side, so I'm just going to put that on the other side of this seam here. And then you can see there's a bit of fullness naturally. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start down the middle here from the top. Now everything's got to be flat. So start a couple of inches down from the top. I'm just going to go down the middle here. Now it's going to be a bit difficult me tacking this down because I've got a cloth on my table. Usually I'd just bring this down a little bit here. Usually I would have done this on my tabletop without the cloth on, but it should be fine. So remember, you're tacking it down, but never ever pull your stitches. It's always got to be slack. Remember, see that? And as you go down, you flatten it. You can see there cannot be any fullness in this waistcoat, and there can't be fullness in the canvas. There naturally will be fullness in the canvas, but sometimes they will push that cloth and they'll put ease in, which one tailor told me off, who's one of the world's best tailors, who's been teaching me his methods. And because the interior, when you bag things out or whatever you're going to do, the inside will actually be bigger than the actual outside. So we do not want to add any more to the inside than there will be already there naturally. So you can see what I'm doing, see? But I'm slacking these off, so I don't want to have any. Because if you pull that stitch, it will create a little pocket, a little fullness, and you do not want that. See, that's got to be flat. You see what I'm doing? So I'm not going to bore you too much. I'll probably do one more row and I'll do the other side and get back to you. So there we have it. So you want that slack there. You don't want any stitches that are going to be tight. And now I'm going to go on this side of here, and I'll put the ruler on the other side so it'll still create that little bit of fullness that's naturally in there. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get back to you when I've just finished tacking this down. Right, okay, here we go. So this is in now, it's all tacked down. I'm just going to cut round the excess canvas out so you'll be able to see that. So get rid of the excess canvas around here. We don't need this excess there. So it's going to be totally flush with the waistcoat here. And remember, we've got all these, remember the thread marking I was explaining about? So I'm going to turn this up now, where the inlays are, to how it should be finished. Then I'll check that on my beautiful friend Nisha on Monday with the waistcoat and the jacket and hopefully the trousers. I'm going to cut the trousers straight after this, so you'll get a glimpse into how I cut my trousers. So hopefully I'll have the 3-piece suit ready for Monday's fitting. As I said before, I've got to make 20. This is my first one, so I'm a bit under pressure, I'm a bit behind my time. There we go. Remember I was telling you about you got to try and retain the bust anyway, because it'll naturally try and pan this up for you. If I can get this as much as we can, I'll try and pan. But it'll naturally curl around. Try and get this up for you because of the bust shaping. So let me put this back down there. So of course there's a bit of fullness in here where this bust dart will be, and I don't want to, that cannot be flattened, especially where there's bust cup, where your bust is there. You have a bit of fullness there, and it's got a bit of fullness there, it's fine. So that's that sorted. So now the canvas is tacked down, and then I'm just going to put this waistcoat back up and I'll show you the end result. Okay, right, here's the waistcoat finished now, it's ready for a first fitting. As you can see, I've just put it on this dummy that I'd actually draped on originally. So it's looking pretty good. So the lapels are going to be here. Here's the lapels. So of course it's got to have the facing on. And then you've got the princess seams down there. And you've got the back. Sometimes I'll put the back in maybe a beautiful cotton satin lining, but this one I'll put it in the tartan wool. So there we have that. And then you've got your princess seams going down there. I probably will put a back buckle on. But for all of mine, when I drape, and you'll see me when I have it on the model, this side seam now is totally straight. It's not shaped. So actually when it's on her, it's going to be shaped in. You see, it's going to be shaped. So it's going to be totally shaped into her. But I will be selling it at the end of my show, all of the suits. So I don't want to get it too shaped on her because, you know, I need to get it to a standard size just for a standard size woman. So I don't want to have it too fitted for each model. So I'll bear that in mind. So, but that's how I'll do it. And I'll do that for everything, all my clients, and I teach this method as well. So if anyone wants to learn real waistcoat making, then they can come on my one-to-one course, which I do at my shop, and you'll learn the real bespoke way. So once this is fitted, so this is what we call a skeleton fitting because there's nothing on it, just like a skeleton without a body. And then there'll be a second fitting, and the second fitting will have the pockets in, I'll have the linings in, and we'll check it, the length and everything, it's fitted before I finish it off and put the buttonholes in and put the buttons on. So that's ready for a fitting now. So I'm happy with that now, and I'll have the model coming on Monday, and I'm going to cut the trousers out now. And you'll get a glimpse into how I do the trousers. So on that note, everyone, I will see you very shortly. So ciao for now.